Back now on Triad today, and we're always glad to have this guest with us whenever he can stop by. We try to get him once a month or so when we can grab him, and he's just such a busy fellow. Lori Bates, our director. Let's see, the Honorable Dr. Elwood Robinson, Chancellor of Winston-Salem State University. Welcome again, sir.
It's always a pleasure, Jim.
Good to see you. We have a lot of things to talk about. Prominent among those, a couple of things. Your installation that's coming up, which we touched on before, and sometimes people don't understand that when there's a sitting or seated chancellor, they say, well, you're already on the job a year, you're already here, but we hear things in the UNC system about, well, but now we're going to have an installation. Can you just one more time explain how that happens? Or?
That happens just because of timing. I came in on January 1st, and you have to figure out a good time to do that, and everyone has to be involved. The president of the system has to be involved. It has to fit on your schedule, and for us, it was a perfect time to do it during homecoming because we could couple that with Founders Day, homecoming, and the installation of a new chancellor, talk about the past, bridging that gap, then talking about the future.
Sure. And there'll be a, big football game that weekend? Or?
There'll be alumni will come back. We will have 35,000 people will be on campus. Football game, all kinds of celebrations will happen on that day.
And I think your installation is something like at 3 o'clock on what, a Friday or something, or is it?
On Friday afternoon, 3:30 is when I will be installed as the 13th Chancellor at Winston-Salem State University.
What's that date again? I forgot. October what?
October 30th.
October 30th. I'm going to write that down again. October 30th is the installation at 3 o'clock. Now, can anybody go, or do you have to be a student, a faculty member, or can people from the community say, yeah, I'd like to check out and see what the Chancellor has to say? Or
anyone can come to the installation. We're going to have it outdoors. It's going to be on the intramural lawn, space for anyone who wants to come and participate in it. It's going to be a great celebration.
Sounds like it. Now, I wanted to ask you, because you recently presented a strategic plan, and I believe you referred to it as a 5-year strategic plan, and you presented that to the Board of Trustees. What were some of the highlights of that you might share with us?
I think we're in the process of strategic planning, Jim. So we've been for the last 9 months, we've been going through a pre-phase. Now we're in a phase where we've actually opened up the process to the entire campus. We have about 32 committees who are working in various areas to make sure that everyone is involved in looking at the future of Winston-Salem State University. What we will do is we anticipate having that plan completed somewhere around the end of November, early December. We'll roll it out to the board somewhere around 1st of January.
Now, I saw a newspaper headline. We didn't really rehearse this, but I want to throw this at you. There was a newspaper headline that would said a couple things. It said, you're committed to liberal arts education. Right. In what ways do you mean that? I'm
committed to it because I want to make it clear for our viewers when I talk about a liberal education, not necessarily liberal arts. Liberal education is that kind of education where in my mind, we're preparing students for 21st century jobs and employment and the way the world is going. And that means that they will leave with a set of core competency skills that will transcend the workforce. So we talk about having them to think critically, be analytical, be problem solvers, and to be able to work in teams and
groups. I misspoke then. It's not liberal, it's a liberal education, which sort of translates to giving them lots of options to be relevant when they get out.
You have it.
You also said that you want to make sure that you're offering a student-centered education. And I thought at first, I said, well, that makes sense. And I thought, well, wait a minute, I better ask him about this. What's behind that message?
What's behind that is I think a lot of times in higher education, we design things for us, whether we're in administration, whether we're in politics, or wherever we are. We simply don't take the student into consideration. So when I talk about being student-centered, I talk about designing that educational experience around the student's needs, and so we can be more receptive and more responsive to where they are.
That sounds good. Now I want to put up on screen the website, but also, Brian, if we can, we'll put up the date to remind people. October 30th is the big celebration with the installation, and it's homecoming weekend. I assume that by going to this website, www.wssu.edu, you can find out information about tickets for the football game, et cetera, et cetera. Dr. Elwood Robinson, my friend, the Chancellor, good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, Jim.
See you soon.